Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday night, and welcome to this rendition of Speak Your Mind with Larry Cox. And as always, I am glad to be joined by the audience, and I will start off by recognizing those who have said hello in the chat. And we have had a few people say hello. We've got a pretty good little audience build up so far. So why don't you guys go ahead and say hello so we can start the conversation? So, good evening, Cheryl and Ben. Welcome to the show. Mary Boysworth, nice to have you here. Vuka Russo, nice to have you on the show tonight. Marie Withers, great to have you. Charlotte Gellert, great to have you. Lee Wright, great to have you on the show tonight. And Danielle Munoz from Minnesota, way up north. How you doing, Danielle? Great to have you on the show tonight. It is great to have everybody on the show tonight and those who will be watching later this week. I was out and about this week, went to several different things. And as I was out, several people came up to me and told me hello, told me they enjoyed the show, told me they're sorry they don't watch the show live. But one person said, I watch it every Monday. Another person said, I go back and watch it on Thursdays. So, and I look at the what our feed is, and I can tell from the views that we get from the server, from the streaming service, we do get a lot of people that go back and watch this show after the live broadcast. But I couldn't do the show without the folks that come on here live to provide feedback. People love to see the feedback that's in the chat. And I think each and every one of you who join me on a regular basis, who engage in the feedback and engage in the dialogue, because without you, the show wouldn't be the same. That's Speak Your Mind with Larry Cox. So not only do I speak my mind, but you, the audience, have an opportunity to speak your mind in the chat. And it is just wonderful. The comments that we have, the feedback we get. And it's just great when I go out in the public and people tell me, we look forward to seeing your show. We look forward to knowing what's going on in the county. And they want to get an unfiltered description of what's going on, an unfiltered dialogue, might we say? And it's very important that people feel that they get that unfiltered dialogue in the community, and I enjoy it too. I enjoy getting that feedback from you. I mean, a lot of times. She's waiting for me to set the billboard up, and I will do that at some point. We are going to put a billboard up saying, "Hey, come watch the show." Build a little bit more audience and everything, and get that going. But today it's really hard to stay connected locally because you're right, Cheryl. It's like a Sunday town hall, and it is really hard to stay connected locally because we just don't have, and I froze up a second there. We just don't have that connection that we used to have. We don't have that local connection. We just don't have local media like we used to have, and so the local media is these type of shows are your local media, and you get that local media. So I went to a football game this past Friday. I went to go watch, excuse me, Rockdale and Heritage. It was Heritage homecoming game. So went to that. Saw a lot of people at that. That was a well attended event. Corliss Turner, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight, Corliss. Clayton Norwick, good evening, Clayton Norwick. Great to have you on the show tonight. But yeah, it was great to be out there in the community. I went to the Teacher of the Year, Danny Ramey. Welcome to the show. Went to the Rockdale County Teacher of the Year Awards this past Thursday at the RCA. That was a great thing to go to. Miss Galt, who teaches at Lorain, was named the Rockdale County Teacher of the Year, and she's 35 years of teaching, and every year that she has taught, all 35 years, have been in a Rockdale County school. So hands out to give a hand to Miss Galt for 35 years of teaching in Rockdale County. She, in her acceptance speech, said she had went through a health scare a few years ago and had to take a year off. And when she came back, it rejuvenated her into teaching, and she can't see herself doing anything else. So it's great to have a teacher of her caliber saying she's not ready to go anywhere in the near future and is going to continue to contribute her talents to the school system and pour into these youth. James Colbert, welcome to the show. Danny Swan, welcome to the show. Bill Campbell, who welcome to the show. Rockdale won the game, Rockdale High. But yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. All comers, whether late or early, everyone, welcome to the show. I don't know if you guys had seen the news this week, but former State Senator Ronald Ramsey, who was a judge in DeKalb County, now he passed away this week. So our condolences go to former Senator Ramsey's family and his loved ones at this time. So again, heartfelt condolences to Judge Ramsey's family as they mourn the loss of Judge Ramsey, a former State Senate 43 Judge Ramsey, Ronald Ramsey. George Kilichik, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight, George. As always, a faithful member of the community, always out there at events, always out there at activities, finding out what's going on in the county, sharing that information with you and I through emails, newsletters, and he's a contributor to this show. Some of the things that we talk about on the show are things that George actually contributes to the show. So we want to thank George at this time for being a contributor to the Speak Your Mind with Larry Cox show. So thank you, George, for all that you do in the community, and especially all the help that you give the show with things that you do. And Justin Kinney, greetings from me. Now, Justin, aren't you in New York City? I think Justin's somewhere too, visiting somewhere. So Justin, are you in Minneapolis, Justin? Are you in New York City? I think Justin might be in New York City. We'll see where Justin's really at. But yeah, guys, I mean, just a great community I think we have of people who Justin says I was in New York. So I think Justin visited the Big Apple for the first time, him and his wife Jenny. So Justin, was it crazy or what? I mean, I've been there several times on work projects, and right in Manhattan, right in the middle of New York City, doing projects and getting yelled at because we're causing traffic jams. Oh my goodness, Chris, the Brush Fire Mind. Chris, great to have you on here tonight, man. Great to see you. I've not seen Chris in a long time, so great to have Chris on the show. Great to see you here, Chris. Not seen you in a minute, so but it's always great to have folks from the Brush Fire Mind in the house and visiting the Speak Your Mind with Larry Cox show. So yeah, so I read an article today in the Citizen, and it was an article about these data centers, and data centers, the communities that they're going into, or these communities are just not happy with them, not happy with the things that they bring, chaos. So they're beginning to be a very unpopular thing with the community that they're moving into. And George Kelichek has shared a lot of emails and a lot of information. And George, at some point, might be a good idea to have you on the show to talk about data centers and the positives and the negatives, because we'll hear a lot of positive from the people trying to spin them and bring them in here. But yeah, that's right. Chris dodged a biolab, but then got hit with Helene, the hurricane. But George and I have had conversations about these data centers, and you know, the people pushing them will give you all the pros for it, but you don't get the cons and the negatives. And what I like about George's research that he's able to put together, George's research will have the pros and it'll have the cons. And I'm going to tell you, folks, there are a whole lot of negatives. Whole lot of negatives when it comes to the cons. So Corliss has put a thing she sent to the development authority. And George, and then Ms. Vuko said that she heard they put out constant humming. And George talked about wanting to put out truthful, effective, efficient, make decisions and truthful, transparent information. And Alex says the cons are very expensive. And Danny Ramey, his nephew and wife are at Times Square right now. And that's what, I'd really like, Alex, maybe we could put a show together sometime, me, you, and George, and come on here and talk about data centers, about the pros, cons, and actually what the true longevity of data centers may be. Because I was at an interesting meeting a few months ago with someone who was very familiar with them, the degree from an institute we all may have heard of, MIT, and talked about data centers and their longevity probably not being long for this world because of new developments in storage, and that data centers would be obsolete within the 10-year cycle probably that we're talking about, the abatements going on the ones that we're getting here in Rockdale County. So that was something interesting to talk about. So and Corliss said she can send the full email to anyone that she had sent that to. So Corliss, if you want to put an email up that they can email you at, put it up in the chat and I'll highlight it. Ms. Russo says she thinks they'll be outdated in 10 years. And from what information that I heard at the meeting that I attended like 4 months ago, I tend to agree with your assessment, Ms. Russo. The information that I received or heard from someone very knowledgeable, someone with an advanced degree from MIT, said that the technology that's coming forward, that these data centers would be obsolete within 10 years. So this is the voicesforrockdale@gmail.com. So anyone on here tonight that would like a copy of the full email with the correspondence with the board, the development authority, please email Ms. Turner at voicesforrockdale@gmail.com. She'll be glad to share that information with you, and you'll be the abatement is for county tax only. So she'll be definitely glad to share that. Well, I'm not certain. I think there was going to be some partial abatement for some school taxes too, because I think we were told that. I think I would like to look into that, but I was told that there were some school tax abatements that were being considered also. Would really like to confirm that. I think that might be something we need to look at and see. I think, but yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, the article I read that communities all over where the data centers are being proposed, the communities are finding out about the negatives and don't belong in them. So that we'll see about that. But yeah, I find it interesting. Like I said, and I think having a show with me, Alex, and George might be a good idea here in the near future to talk about these data centers and what we can expect and not expect. Okay, that's part of the whole thing. Vuka Russo, the city of Atlanta, doesn't want Charlotte. So it's very interesting what we got going on. I just don't know. Just do not know. Um, so what else is going on in good old Rockdale County? Well, before you know it, right? We're a little over a month away from the city elections. We're only a few weeks away from early voting starting uh, in uh, in Rockdale County for the city elections. But the early voting will also be for the statewide things we have on the ballot, those public service commissioners. So this November, we will also be having a countywide election for the public service commissioners. So the PSC commissioners are also on the ballot. So when early voting starts, early voting will start for the whole county because of those public service commission races. And then on election day in November, it'll be for the whole county because we'll have the public service commission races statewide, and then we will have the elections that are going to go on in the city. We have several uncontested races in the city, and we have a couple of contested races in the city. We've got the council position that was formerly held by Ms. Alsabrook when she stepped down to run for mayor, and then the mayor's race, of course, is contested, and that will be interesting. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then Clayton says that he would love to see us show you, Alex, and George do on data centers. I'll see if we can't pull that together. I think that would be an interesting show too, something I would like to do, and I think it would be good and informative for this community to have that type of show. We could share a bunch of knowledge, and like I said, not only discuss what positives that you would get, because you would get some positives, right? There are some positives, but then I think you have to look at the return, or do the negatives outweigh the positive? And from my research, I believe the negatives uh, outdo the positive, and I think when you hear just the raw information, you will probably come to the same conclusion that the data centers themselves probably are a more negative impact on a community than they are a positive impact on the community. So, what else, guys? What else do we want to chat about this evening on the Speak Your Mind with Larry Cox show? So, that's really what I wanted to bring out tonight. I wanted to bring out about those data centers, and that the communities are not for them, don't like them, and it's not a good fit with a lot of the communities. Also, I want to mention something again that I mentioned last week. The show uh, was really horrible because the sound, and it was just horrible. It's a horrible show, but but uh, but I want to again congratulate John Bowers for being appointed to the Soil and Water Conservation Committee, and uh, I know he's going to do a good job. So, John, again, we want to congratulate you on your appointment, and we know you're going to do a fantastic job of protecting the soil and water rights of folks. Okay, I see. No, there are not a lot of job openings at the data center. I think that's something we know. There's not a lot of positions at data centers. uh, and then George, you want me to extend an invite to Amy Sharma? Okay, we can do that. we can do an invite for that. And then I hope the city remembers who voted for the PFA during the city council election. That's interesting. Got you there. And Cheryl, the importance of keeping the county clean and talking about some dump sites that are being cleaned up. So yeah, we need to make sure we keep the county clean because it can be an eyesore and people they just don't want to invest. Alex, this is a great point, and I think we need to put on here. The high pay positions are mainly remote positions, which people from out of state will take. That is a great point, Alex. That the high pay positions are remote positions that nobody in your community are going to hold. That's a good point, Alex. Thanks for bringing that one to the forefront. So, like I said, guys, there's a lot of things about these data centers that are not brought out into the light. But when you do a show like this, amazingly, you ask questions. And then again, what did I say at the beginning of the show? I said that the dialogue that occurs in the chat is just as important, if not more important, than the talking head that you see, which is me. Because then you'll see how that goes. Stormwater now has a street sweeper. My goodness. Well, I know the city has contracted one out for years, a street sweeper. So the county now has a street sweeper, Corliss. Interesting. So I'd like to know where we're going to use this thing and how it's going to be utilized. That'll be very, very interesting. So the 1 year anniversary of BioLab. Yep. That's the 1 year anniversary of BioLab. I'm telling you what. Interesting. And sure, and Corliss did said, yep, we do have a street sweeper now. Well, I'll tell you what, tickle me pinkle, pink. We got a street sweeper. It's on the county Facebook. Okay, interesting. I will have to go look at that. I'm interested in looking at that myself and see what the intents are with the street sweeper. Very interesting. Well, I definitely have to put Catherine's comment up there. I hope they have higher standards for the council members than to elect disbarred attorneys who is also responsible for much of the carnage left in the wake of the last county administration. Well, I tell you, that is interesting. Oh, cool. I did see that. I mean, of course, Charlotte. I'll put that up there. I agree with you. I like that too. So, also for Pet Animal Services is having a town hall October the 23rd. I may. I think I'm going to go attend that one myself. I am very interested in that. I think Tucker Cox would want me to go and find out what they want to try to do to him. Uh, he is a taxpayer. He's ran for office. Uh, I gotta go. I gotta go represent Tucker Cox. See what's going on there. That is interesting. Uh, so one time, remember a long time ago when they opened up the dog park at over here in South Rockdale. Uh, so I took Molly to the dog park opening. Molly can be a little fickle sometimes. Sometimes she's not that friendly to everybody. So former chairman comes up to Molly and Molly give him the growl and don't come around me. And it was like, oh, so I had to keep Molly tight, tight grip on Miss Molly Lou because uh, she wasn't feeling it. Uh, uh, that happened. Let's see what Catherine is also saying about here. These are very important meetings for Rockdale Animal Services. I encourage everyone who cares about animals in this community to attend. Just asking Catherine or Charlotte, um, do you guys actually know what what the meetings are about? I mean, what policies they're wanting to talk about or change? Uh, Molly goes back and forth, Miss Ruth. So she goes back and forth between mommy and daddy's girl. She is a big mommy's girl, but she likes to go with daddy in the truck. So she likes to go ride with me in the truck and go places. And she's very protective. And Molly can feel when there may be some animosity toward her father, and she probably didn't like it. So, just saying Molly's a very good judge of character, just so everyone knows. Very good judge of character. And so is Tucker Cox. Both of them are very good judges of character. So uh, if they like you, you get that good check mark. But if they don't like you, it might not be good. That is very important to me, the no kill status. I'm going to go ahead and put that up there, Catherine. So that I like hearing that. So they were close to doing the no kill. So fill out the survey for the biolab. Good, and here we go. A very important person just entered the room. Our next state senator, Donald Ferguson. Good evening, Mr. Ferguson. Welcome to the show. I can't wait to have you on the show and talk about what you want to do when you become the next state senator of Senate 43. Donald, I didn't know if you heard or you were on here earlier when I announced that former Senator Ronald Ramsey had passed away. I saw that the other day that former Senator Ramsey passed away. And I think we all know he was serving as a judge over in DeKalb County here recently. So, but didn't know if you knew that. I wanted to share that with you if you didn't know it, that former Senator Ramsey had passed away this past week. And we sent our condolences out to his family and such for all that. If y'all don't remember, Senator Ramsey got appointed to the judgeship back in 2015, and that's when former Senator Van Ness, now Chairman Van Ness, won that special election back in 2015 when Senator Ramsey was appointed to be Judge Ramsey. So just need a little bit of political backlog for us there, for us to all know about and everything. So. So Donald, you did not know it, but you do. So he was one of your Masonic Lodge brothers. I got you. And there I am, clicking buttons, making things come and go away. Yes, Corliss, I saw where Dr. Heavenly is running for um, Congress instead of legislature. And you know what? I think I might have could have supported Dr. Heavenly for that legislative race, but I don't think not so much for Congress. Too much drama. We got enough drama in those positions right now. We don't need any more. I'm just being real. Well, we got enough drama there now. Don't need no more drama. Just my opinion. Donald Ferguson, what do you think? You be no Donald, don't say nothing. You're getting ready to get into a race. I don't need you to talk. Be quiet. So we can talk about that personally. We can talk about that in private. Uh, uh, I might get in trouble myself for saying what I just said, but I actually believe that. I think that would have been might have been a good fit for that local level, not so much for that congressional level, right? So, uh, just just my opinion. Corliss said her too. She thinks the same thing, just a little too much drama, right? I like to cut back on the drama a little bit. Uh, so that's what I think. But it is what it is, right? We'll see what happens. We'll see how that fares. There'll be a slew of people running for that seat. Is word on the street is Congressman Scott, because of health reasons, will not be seeking reelection, and there will be a ton of people seeking that Democrat nomination. So we'll have to see what happens with that. We'll have to see what totally happens with that race. I think it's going to be interesting. You'll have a dozen people. Oh yeah, that's my personal opinion, and that's what I was talking about, getting in trouble personally. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's yeah. I mean, it's my personal opinion. No, not nothing as a board member. No. And whenever I talk Board of Education stuff, which I can talk Board of Education stuff, I just have to throw my disclaimer out here. Is when I talk about Board of Education stuff, it is my personal opinion. It is my opinion as one board member that my voice does not carry weight for the board or the district. It is just my opinion as a board member. And I can give you my opinion as a board member when it comes to those things. I just have to let you know that I'm not speaking for the board, and it's not the position of the board when I say things as a board member on my own show. Because I can do that. Because the First Amendment does cover my right to do that. It actually does. So I am very careful when I do speak as a board member, and I have spoke on here as a board member. I mean, and Justin Kinney will at times speak on here as a board member, and he'll throw the same disclaimer out there when he does it. And like what I'm saying, that was one of those false things that Justin and I both ran against in the last campaign, that our voices couldn't be silenced. That some of the things that the previous administration of the district were a little heavy handed on, and would say board members couldn't do this, couldn't go here, couldn't go there, couldn't do this. Those were not accurate. They were not true. Board members are allowed to speak their mind. They are allowed to say things. Uh, and that's where we've just got to make sure that we make the distinction that when we say those things in our official capacity, that we say, I'm not speaking for the board or the district, but I am saying, as a board member, this is how I'll vote and while I'll vote for it. But that does not carry the weight of the board. And then I also have the ability to speak as a citizen and not a board member. So I need, so I'll say that too. Yeah, yeah, yes, John. As the default, and that's what I do naturally, right? That I'm speaking as a citizen. But when I am going to speak as a board member, you guys will hear me give my disclaimer. Okay. I will give my disclaimer every single time that I do that when I am going to talk about an opinion or a position I intend to take as your elected board member. Because remember, I am also uh, your elected board member. So if you ask me an opinion about something and you want me to put that hat on, I'll put that hat on. But then I'm going to give you my disclaimer of what I'm about to say is not going to be representative of the board of the district. It's going to be my personal opinion as a board member regarding it. But yes, John, you are correct. The majority, please, as I'm commenting here and I do the show, do it as the default as I'm just speaking as a citizen. So, and John, you're correct, and that should be made up front. And when I do that on the show, I do make that up front. And I'll like say I'm not speaking for the board, but this is my official position as a board member. Uh, and you've just got to clarify it. But when I do the show, 99% of the show is Larry Cox, citizen, talking about issues and things going on. Uh, John says, unfortunately, we live in an inside down world. We do. We. It's a crazy world. You have to clarify everything because someone somewhere is ready to pounce and criticize and say you did something wrong at every turn. They really are. It's some people's dream to get you in trouble, to get you on, uh, you know, I got you moment. So, hey, get me in and I got you, man. If I got me, I'll say I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Right? Uh, I'm not beyond apologizing if I do something wrong. But I think you guys all know me also. I'm not above doubling down when I know I'm right. And I think you all know that all too well also. That, I'll apologize 1,000% when I'm in the wrong. But when I'm in the right and you're trying to say I'm not, oh, I will double down hard. Double down, double down, double down. And Donald Furnison agreed. So, and that was with John's statement. So yeah, guy, you know, we'll see what's going on. These upcoming elections are going to be interesting. Just things that are happening in the community are interesting. I'm pretty excited about our community, what possibilities we have. I like the involvement of all you guys in the community. So, hey, great job, everybody out there. And yes, Cheryl, we tend to just keep speaking the truth. Because speak your mind, speak the truth. If as long as the light shines, then we shine the light on darkness, right? The truth is the light, and misinformation is the darkness. So as long as we continue to spread the truth, then our light shall overshadow misinformation in the darkness. And that's what I firmly believe. And I believe shows like this, I believe audiences like you, and people that uh, we are withdrawing into the fight. They are willing to spread that light, spread that truth. And that's what we need more of. We need more of the light, more of the truth. Yes, Cheryl, we need transparency because transparency is what this is all about. And that's a few weeks ago. Remember the graduation thing? We took that off the consent agenda at the board meeting and spoke about it in open forum. That's the kind of thing. The Board of Commission has been doing the same thing. They've been speaking about a lot of things in public forum so that you're hearing about them. And that's the most important thing that we can do is continue this dialogue about topics in the open. The day of we need to educate you so that you understand that we're screwing you for a good reason. That nonsense is stopped. That nonsense is dead. We never want to hear that. Let's educate the public on why we do the things we do when you don't want us to do them. We as the citizens of this and the stakeholders of this community never want to hear that nonsense ever again. Never, ever again do we want to hear that ridiculous nonsense. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, it's approaching 8:45. I have got to tell you, I have rambled longer than I thought I would be able to tonight. But Samantha Swain says she really loves the openness that's going on in our community. And I know you're, Samantha, referring to the whole community and government in whole in Rockdale County. And I do too. I love the openness and the transparency that we are experiencing in this county at this time. But as I was saying, I was able to ramble on here for a whole 45 minutes. Didn't think it would be possible, but it was. But I was able to do that a lot because I owe it to you guys for making the dialogue happen. Because your involvement in the chat is crucial to have an open and transparent communication on this show. Without your assistance, we don't have this transparency. So thank you. But I want to say next week, I look forward to joining you again Sunday, 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube on another exciting and wonderful edition of Speak Your Mind with host Larry Cox. Thank you and good night.